Welcome to our website. I'm Dr. Adam Fraser.
And I'm Tara DeBessi. Together we're the authors of The Good Enough Diet.
Now, Tara, one of the chapters in the book is called It's Okay to be Fat. And this is a concept you came up with. Now, when I tell people this, I get some pretty extreme responses to it.
So do I. They say, oh yeah, but it isn't, is it? Now, the problem is this isn't just a self-belief, but it's also a belief for others. So if you've got kids or if you're working with someone who is overweight, there's absolutely no benefit in pointing out that they're overweight. Most people realise that they're overweight. There are some studies that show that men aren't as susceptible to it as women.
Because we're idiots.
But most women think that they're actually bigger than what they are.
My gosh, yes. I would say that over the last 15 years, I consistently see that as a message.
And it's something as simple as, telling a kid they're dumb isn't going to make them smarter. Telling someone that they're fat isn't going to make them thinner.
So really part of this okay to be fat message is about your judgment and treatment of other people who may be overweight.
And also your treatment of yourself as well. So what we find is that people tend to put themselves down all the time. And if they have a more positive attitude about themselves, they're more likely to think that they've got that self-worth and that they can lose weight, they deserve to lose weight.
I suppose another thing, Tara, that I've seen over the years is no matter what type of client came to me, and I've seen men and women of all different shapes, sizes, ages, no matter who they were, they all thought they were fat. So when I said to them, what do you want to do? They go, I want to lose weight. And some of them, I look at them and say, from where? Like, you've got no fat.
Yeah, and something that I always found with people is that they would tell me what weight they wanted to be. And I'd challenge them about that. Have you been that weight before? Yes, I have. What did you think about yourself? I thought I was fat. So it's looking at maybe there are some other issues and whether that means that you need to work through those issues or work through and realising that, okay, I think that I'm fat and that's okay to think that because even when I'm thin, I'm going to think that anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so really you're saying it's about three things. Number one is our judgment of other people.
And ourselves, yeah.
And ourselves. It's our attitude towards ourselves. And that is it almost an acceptance thing where, it's okay to be fat because I may actually not be?
Exactly. So understanding that you've got that attachment to I'm fat, when actually that might not be the case. You might actually be okay. And even when you are thinner, and you see this a lot in people who once are getting older. Yeah. So they're like, oh my gosh, now I've got my middle age spread. It's so much more difficult to lose weight. But when I was 30, I thought I was big, but I look at photos now and I looked gorgeous. And that appreciation.
So it's a really mindset shift around this, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's something that we're looking to change, is changing that mindset and not having that negative attachment to being fat. Being okay with that word, and that it doesn't necessarily need to be a bad word.
And that's the whole point of the Good Enough Diet, is about getting rid of the guilt and relaxing on that. Also, just one more thing before we go is, how does happiness relate? Because so often I would see people who came into my practice and they would think, when I'm skinny, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
They thought there was a correlation between happiness and being skinny.
And a lot of people tell people this as well. They're like, well, once they lose weight, they'll be thin. But what I believe is that once you're happy, you're more likely to lose weight.
So if you have self-acceptance, you're not beating up on yourself as much, and you have good self-esteem.
And the other thing that's really important now that you bring this up is that being overweight reduces your life by about 3 years, is what the research shows.
Yeah, right.
Being unhappy reduces your life by about 9 years.
So
doesn't make sense
put that in
to focus on it.
Yeah. So rather than sweat about everything you put in your mouth and obsess about your weight, if you actually accepted yourself for who you were, was physically active, ate a good enough diet, you'd be far in front of some obsessive who's worrying about everything they're putting in their mouth and constantly looking in the mirror thinking, oh my gosh, I'm overweight.
Exactly. So there's a lot of things, and we do talk about some stories in It's Okay to be Fat in the chapter within this book, and we hope that you learn from that and you enjoy it.
Thanks very much.